While I'm sitting watching one of the movies I watch just to pass the time, I found my father entering the room, turning off the TV, and then sitting next to me. His face was covered in sweat and he was breathing hard. I remained silent, noticing the changes in his face until he calmed down and started to speak. My father said, "I saw him, I saw him." I replied to him, "I saw who?" My father said, "I saw Satan, my son, in a dream." I replied immediately and said, "I seek refuge in God from the accursed Satan." But when I first said this sentence, I found Baba putting Edo on his ear and shouting in a heavy voice other than his own. I stepped back and it was only a matter of moments until he raised his hand from his ear and said, "I do not want to hear the word God on your tongue." I didn't understand what was going on, but I didn't want trouble. My answer was only I shook my head in agreement. Baba looked at her and said, "Today I will bring a goat, and tomorrow we will slaughter it in the name of Satan." My heart sank as soon as I heard that sentence. My father will be Satan's servant. I want to clarify one point, which is that my father started witchcraft several months ago, and my mother always warned him, but he continued as he is. My mother died 2 months ago and I don't know why, and here I am living with my charming father in the house alone. Papa got out of the room and went out, and after a few hours he came home with goats. I came out of the room and saw my father trying to tie the goats. I brought a rope from the kitchen and started to help my father. The goats were black in color and their eyes looked full of meanings that I did not understand. After we tied the goats, my father told me that he was going to sleep and asked me to sleep early so that we could wake up actively to slaughter the goats. My father entered his room and I entered my room as well and left the door open and then turned off the lights. And as soon as I lay on the bed I started thinking and swimming in a sea of thoughts. I was confused about what my father was doing. The beginning was just normal things, but now he wants to slaughter goats in the name of Satan and become an infidel. I exhausted thinking and fell asleep. I woke up at night to something sticky moving on my face. I opened my eyes and freaked out when I saw the goats in front of me on the bed. Perhaps he escaped from the rope and came to my room. I got up from the bed to go and tie him up, but he quickly ran out of the room. I went after him, but I could not find him. I looked for him in every corner of the house, but he disappeared. And while I was looking at him for the 4th time, I heard footsteps in my room. I thought it was the goat, but when I entered the room I found my father standing in the middle and not moving. His eyes were staring into mine. The scary thing was that his eyes were black, and there was no white in them. I don't know what to do, run away or keep standing. I noticed that my father was wearing strange clothes other than the clothes he was wearing when he went to bed. Clothes cut and full of blood. I looked closely and found my father's man, not normal legs, but goat legs. This was so freaking me out. My father took slow steps towards me and I was still standing sweating. But when he started getting closer, I found myself involuntarily running out of the room. And when I was running, I felt an army running behind me. I didn't look back and kept running until I got out of the house and then I stopped feeling like someone was chasing me. I got out of our apartment, but I didn't get out of the building. And while I was going down the stairs quickly, I heard my father's voice calling for help. The sound was on top. There was a feeling that led me to look. And in fact, I went up on the roof to find my father hanging from his head, with blood all over the roof. My heart nearly stopped as soon as I saw that scene. While I was looking at the huge amount of blood on the ground, I saw a goat from afar standing on the roof of the building. Then he looked at me one last look and jumped from the top of the building. Now I'm standing in endless blood. I looked at my related father and realized that this is the end of those who follow Satan. I got out of the building and ran away from all this. And now I live a natural life free of magic and other